Good morning. I'm Alex. I'm one of the client relationship directors here at Steps, and I'm here today with Frances Light. Frances and I work together on an inclusive leadership program in her former role as Global Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at a leading gaming company. So, Frances, thank you for joining us in conversation today.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
So, what challenges did COVID present to you?
Well, what it did was really prevented us from continuing to roll out and continue the momentum of our Inclusive Leaders program. We had started at the end of 2019 and really gained great momentum. Our whole executive team had gone through the program, and we've been traveling around the different locations. So very quickly we got together with our partners at Steps, and looked at what possibly could be the options. And yeah, very, working together, I think we came up at the end with a really good solution, and were able to continue to roll out.
And how was, I mean, I guess for you from, what we were doing a live program and we were also going to a lot of locations globally. You were one of the first companies actually to be really positive about transforming it into virtual and feeling like it would work. So tell me a little bit more about your thinking and then how, when it actually happened, how was it received?
What we really knew was that the program worked. We also knew that people were wanting to continue and to attend. And therefore, it was how do we do something that still captures the essence of this program, um, but we can do it virtually. And so there was lots of discussions and, trying to work out how it could work. So I think the biggest challenge was going from a day's program into, 2 hours. And how do you kind of distill the essence of the program into that? And so it was, working with the team, looking at what we could, what we needed to really hold sacred and what could we split out. And yeah, I think it was just collaboratively working together, be realizing that there are some benefits of virtual, and those benefits were being able to get onto the session with people from around the organization, whereas ordinarily you would be meeting with those in your own location. And so it just really gave us opportunity to have the richness and the diversity of the different locations' voices in the room.
It was then rolled out for the whole of 2020, really.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what kind of feedback and in terms of how people received it?
I think well, the feedback was like absolutely positive. I mean, if I'm trying to recall some of the words, but it was like really surprised by the power of it being in virtual. I definitely felt for myself, having experienced both, and because I was co-facilitating on the live in-person ones, is that there's something about the power of the screen that it was to me much more intimate because you were now, you know, up close and personal with the actors, whereas in the live space, you actually are sitting a little removed. So for me, there was actually something much more powerful, and you could see every expression and the microaggressions that were there at play. So I really do believe it was well received, and if anything, probably. We know that we could have stretched the time because people were saying we wish they had more. So I'd probably say that was something we would, in hindsight, reconsidered. We thought 2 hours people wouldn't, would feel that was too much. But I think that was a consistent thing, was that they were so engaged, they were so captivated that they would have loved it to have been a bit longer.
In terms of what you were hoping to achieve in terms of the shift in culture and focusing really on inclusive leadership, did you feel like in this transition and working with Steps, you were able to kind of not have to press pause, but in a way sort of continue through that and achieve the results that you were hoping to achieve?
Absolutely. The momentum, I think if anything, it was paused for, I think it was a period of about 5 weeks, which given the pandemic was, a really good quick turnaround. I think it was 6 weeks from, when the announcement was until we ran our first session. So I think it was a great collaborative effort, and the momentum, really kept going. Because that also, our people needed time to just kind of reset in terms of what was happening in the pandemic. So I think it was perfectly timed. I'm super proud of the turnaround and how we managed to get it going. The desire of the program was to raise awareness but more than unconscious bias. I think, people were aware in the main, but it was how do we shift to, the next step? How do we choose to consciously and intentionally be inclusive? And I think that is the journey that we started.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. And it was lovely working with you on that project.
Delighted and wishing all the best.